We are Anthony and Amy. We are converting our sitting room really into an off-grid camper van. You should join us on our journey and watch as we work on it over the next few months. We have absolutely no experience, so if we can convert a van, you can do it too. If you would like updates in between videos, follow us on Instagram.
So what we're doing?
So we've cut the 50mm Kingspan insulation out for the back doors. I'm going to vapour barrier this side, put some earth wool in here. We've used a little bit of 50mm insulation to stop the earth wool from like sitting on the red light, and then
just in case they get hot.
Vapour barrier that side. I'm just going to measure the side panels right on with a Sharpie, the measurements, and then get them stuck on, and then vapour barrier it all, and then vapour barrier the roof as well.
Yeah, all the roofing's done.
That's what we're doing today.
Woohoo! So I've measured each panel and now I'm going to cut the insulation with the jigsaw, which is much easier. And when I said last time about using a fine tooth blade, it doesn't really matter. This works as well. This is a wood blade and that works. Because it's 50mm I needed a bigger blade and the wood one's longer. So I used that and it's perfect. Gets all the edges good, and if there's any curves I can curve around it and stuff. So I'm going to check what measurement I've got and then start cutting them. Now I was going to use the 50mm Kingspan for here, but because of these and because of the conduit, I mean I could just cut an archway in the insulation, but I think I'm just going to do it with the earth wool and then Reflectix and then the aluminium tape. So I'll just get these ones cut out for the Kingspan. Amy's completed the vapour barrier on the back door. It's one door complete. As you can see, the van is an absolute mess. But we're making progress. So I've just been spray gluing these on. Back doors, as you can see, is done, which is good. I've done all around the tops of the earth wool, all the way along. My little brother's been stuffing them in little gaps like here. I've just been cutting out the exact shapes for these, ticking off when I've done them. We've just got a pile of them here. I'm leaving these ones because this is what's going to have the little V ridges in the back of them. But what I should have done was, I should have just cut rough, like smaller squares, rather than being exact. Should have just cut the exact squares to where the earth wool goes round it anyway. Oh, nice cup of tea. Thank you. We've decided just to not use the spray glue and use the stick pins instead, just to keep it on the wall. Spray glue wasn't really keeping it there. So this is the end of another day converting the van. We've got the earth wool stuffed in all the top parts where the Kingspan won't go, all the way along above the door. And now we've got, Amy made a start on this, but I said to wait until we've starting the wiring. But now we've got boards in the middle, there. And I've also cut out the rest. Around the wheel arches need to be cut tomorrow, but it's going to be a carry on, so I think I'll have to just do the shape of the wheel arch. But these need little V's cutting out of them, which can be done tomorrow, and then any other little gaps we'll just be putting earth wool in. And what we're going to get sorted today is the bottom bits of the Kingspan either side, we're going to earth wool, Reflectix and foil tape the door and do the bottom of that king span. I need to cut more around the wheel arches. We're going to fill the tops with earth wool, Reflectix and foil tape, and the same on that side. And then we're going to try and get some of the framing done. So, as Greg Virgo does in his videos, he uses 12mm ply strips. And we've got some cut-offs off the flooring. So we're just going to see if see how much we've got and see if it'll work out. And as we said before, we've left gaps in between for wiring. So if a ply strip goes over here, there's going to be like a little void there. And then we'll be able to have wires running through that way. And then when you get to the bottom, it's going to be for the cupboards. But yeah, kind of a hard day ahead of us, isn't it?
Yeah.
See you in a bit. We're constantly hitting problems at the moment. So we were just going to carry on with the boarding of the king span and doing the bottom and everything like that. But we'll get that done. But then we're just going to Reflectix and foil tape over the top of it. But then we're thinking we need the wiring in. But what we're struggling with at the moment is judging where the wiring's going to run and where it's going to end. But we're just looking and thinking, like, where do I actually want sockets and where's going to be the most convenient place to have sockets, and where do we need to wire the 230 volt, where do we need to wire the 12 volt. We've hit a little wall at the minute. It's not all plain sailing, but it's going to be worth it. We just need to sit down and not try and rush things. Yeah. So we've just finished cutting this wheel arch part, and as you can see, it's like pretty tricky. Ignore these middle bits because we've decided against doing a V, and we're just going to put earth wool in because then it'll be vapor barriered anyway, and then put that in here. As you can see on here, it is pretty tricky, but we've managed to do it pretty alright, and we can use this as a template for the other side as well, which will help out.
It's flush.
Yeah, it's pretty alright.
Not bad for his first try.
Yeah, I just cut a rough arch, and what I did was take that back out. So for anyone who is struggling with this, we were. But what I did was I measured from this corner to here, and then I measured just roughly from the bottom of this V bit. I measured from here to the wheel arch centre, roughly. It wasn't perfect. And then we just measured from the bottom of the V line up there until the top of the wheel arch section. And the gap behind here, we're going to just put bits of earth wool in. And that should be alright. Everything's going to be vapor barried in the end anyways. And obviously I'm going to use this wheel arch as a template for that wheel arch. And I've also cut the back bits out, which are identical. And once we've done one, we can use the other one as a template and stuff. But yeah, such a messy job with the insulation because we're using a jigsaw. Quick sweep of everywhere because, as you can imagine, insulation just gets everywhere. We've done the best we can. So we'll come and have a quick look. So it's a very tedious job. But these gaps here, we're going to stick earth wool in and foil tape over. But we've done the best we can. And I think down near the vents, there's not much you can do with Kingspan down here. So we're just going to put earth wool down here as well. But yeah, it's a pretty good job considering we're absolute beginners. We've never used the tool in our life, but now we're starting to get used to measuring, and I think I'm more impressed with the roof. I like the way we've done the roof. But we've also used stick pins on the wall insulation as well. And just bent the spikes over. And we're going to cut loads of squares and just foil tape over the spikes.
And came up with a brilliant idea right at the end and said, stick them through first and then stick it on.
Yeah, so we can position it properly, because what we've been doing is what we've been doing is been sticking the pins onto the wall and then trying to line up the insulation. Whereas if you're going to do yours, put the pins through the insulation first, and then you can just line it up perfect and just press on, and just obviously keep pressing as much as you can around the area, and then that'll stick the pin onto the wall. Because these pins are really, really good, they'll not come off. I've tried to pull one off and I couldn't get it off when we made a mistake. But pretty happy with the progress. I think we need to leave it, it's only 2:30 today, but I need to really research and watch more videos on the electrics, because we're unsure of how we want to connect the LEDs together. Now, we want the bedroom ones to be on a switch, and we want everything else to be on a separate switch, but we're unsure of if you can use one 12-volt wire for that or not. Well, we're not going to really have enough, we might have to order more, but we can't really put wiring all through the conduit for each light to the fuse box. That doesn't make sense. So I'm sure we're going to have to watch videos. I'm sure you can just wire each LED to each other and then to the fuse box, but I just don't know how you do it. But that's the next step, is sorting our wiring out so it's all hidden behind walls and stuff like that. I mean, but we're going to carry on with the earth wool and the Reflectix and just keep doing it, but I thought, well, what if we want to be wiring behind there? We don't want to put a hole in this, because essentially it'll not be a barrier anymore if we put a hole in. Well, that's my opinion. I'm not sure, correct us if I'm wrong. But yeah, we're learning, picking things up along the way.
This is where we are going to leave today's video, so thank you all for watching. Please hit the like button to support our channel, and if you would like to see future videos, please hit subscribe and the notification bell.